Earlier we did some ones with the okay. We did the Brazil 2002, which was a three, essentially a 3-5-2. It was a five at the back. We also did the England Euro 96 one, which came out well. Now, what we're going to try with this one is the classic Brazil, which normally people would expect to be in this shape. But with what we need to do, we're actually going to do it in the 4-2-2. So what we're going to do first is we need Cafu, we need Kodbach, we have Joe Gomez at right back, left back even, and we have Jonathan Tah. Actually, with what these fullbacks are doing, I will actually have Ronaldo, which will be revealed. Now, in this one, it was weird how they handled it because these two essentially did nothing. Like in the previous one with the Clemson, where Clemson would basically chase the ball down and whatnot, but in this instance, these two essentially. Oh no, I don't want to TK. Now, this is based on the 1970. Now, there is a reason I'm playing Vol up front. I've got some score 5 goals with a player, which really, really won't take long. In. Now, this was during the introduction period where teams were starting to play slightly higher. But essentially, from what I've read and from what I've seen, this is modern, so this is modern. So we're still going to have these unbalanced. We want both the fullbacks on attacking wing backs, so we want them to push higher up. But what we also want is the holding midfielders now. There's two ways of doing this. We could do it the authentic way, which is, in essence, Ekatike, in this instance, the strikers would drop deep and the two wide players would drop in, and they would inadvertently create, 2-2-2. Or what you can do as an option is put them on half winger, so then essentially it becomes that. But we're going to do this the way I read. And we're going to have it essentially be like this. So off the ball, it's 4-2-2. In the ball, when we've got the ball, it's essentially a 2-2, and then everyone's kind of on the front foot. So as you can see in the box, it's by the diagram, you've got that what's going on. So without further ado, let's go give this a whirl. I am going to do this quick one now, and then I'm just going to pause the stream, and then I'll be back on after I've had a bath and stuff. But I've been looking into a lot of basically the shape of certain tactics. There's a really weird Italian one that I kind of want to try, which is it's a 5-3-2, but one of the wing backs goes right way forward and the other one essentially stays put.
That is key to winning any football game. Which of these teams has the right attitude today is the big question.
Surely now. They've got to find reverse gear now.
And it's like,
because
it's called Gattensia, and it's an Italian way of defending that did slowly mould, change slightly.
Get it over now.
But it's essentially, if you want, I know people joke about Harrenball. If I butcher it, I sincerely apologise.
For a while, everybody played with a 4-4-2,
but
and it can still be a very good system. But it does rely very much on your front two getting the better of their
it's essentially
and the wide midfield
what would lead to the creation of,
Let's hope they play it well today.
10 men, but what we now know is 10 men back behind.
The ball has been lost by the football friends. Lovely weighted pass. He's put it away, but the celebrations will stop there.
Well, that was tight, but he was just offside. It was a good finish, though.
Because when the strikers, in this instance Pele, they would drop deep.
Always done well to get past his man. Oh, it must be here. It's there. That changes things. A goal for 1-0.
Is what?
1-0 as the game restarts.
Because I grew up in an era where a lot of the top formations in the late 80s, early 90s didn't really have wingers anymore at that point. It was kind of super narrow, and then you had like what we know as 3-5-2.
Just needs the composure now. Promising move stalls.
Well, that's how to defend the edge of your box.
Yeah, so it's
Mario Gomez.
It's interesting in a way.
Timber.
Because what I am finding, especially with watching a lot of these tactics videos and tactics analysing and stuff like that, breakdown of old tactics. And yeah, I've always had, like, my brother's brain ideas for tactics is way better than mine. He has a lot more of it. Like, he's a lot more creative when it comes to tactics, where I'm more, I would say direct, but it's essentially my brother has a great idea for possession-based football, where my style of football is inspired by, very well, there's only a few years between us. My brother grew up at the height of that, Gatton Sound, defensively solid, and then you've got the total football night, where total football essentially wasn't about doing anything with the ball, it was about spreading play, keeping the ball and moving the ball between you. And then it morphed into what we now know as mainly Pep Guardiola is probably the one you can say is the
Lovely slotted ball through from Sauer.
Is the main one.
Onto it, in on goal, and another goal. It's seemed all over before, but there's another to really seal it.
You've got that a little bit. I mean, just like, where mine is, I grew up with the tail end of the glory of Italian football.
Weighted beautifully.
which is, which I learned a lot. But then I also grew up with the emergence of a very, very aggressive 4-4-2 with Man United and Alex Ferguson,
Whistle goes, and it's
which
time
is
for
probably
the
the
second
tactic I'm
act.
going to make next. Because Alex Ferguson's was a
Senators with width
in
here.
your like.
And this is turning into one magnificent.
It was
and
weird how
memorable
Alex and his
Yet
people.
another
There's this
goal.
misconception that
Lee Kang In.
nowadays we have play roles like players holding and stuff.
Fernandes.
Back then you had essentially
Nicola Matvienko.
Roy Keane. And Roy Keane's
Dennis
job
Favre.
was to, when he was in defence,
Lee.
kicking 3 stages of shit into you.
Mario Gomez.
And then
Deceptive.
you
Great
had,
reading of the game.
then Paul Scholes was basically, he wasn't box
There's
to
a chance
box
for them to
doing
go
that.
now.
He was essentially,
Can they make something happen from this? Oh, just
he
off
was,
target.
Yeah, great attack, but the finish
he was
wasn't quite right,
basically,
was it?
he was roaming around,
Well, those stats tell
putting
you
in the
everything.
pass here,
They're
putting
opening
in
up
the
the
pass
opposition
there,
well,
very
and while we've
attacking,
seen some really poor defending,
arriving,
their attacking players been excellent.
late when need to, but he was hovering around that box, making
Puts it through.
darting runs into the penalty box.
Oh, he tried to
And then
power
you
it
just
in.
had two very,
Flown
very
wide, absolutely flown.
standard strikers with wingers who
What a chance here. It's in.
essentially the wingers,
No wonder he's off
they were
celebrating.
wingers. But you had Beckham right the way on the far right. Beckham would be right on the far right hand side, and he would be whipping balls in. But Giggs would be just as out wide, and he would
So
cut
we
in.
move
But
past
we're
the
not
hour mark.
talking. We got the ball, so I can show you.
Nicola Matvienko. Now Milinkovic-Savic. Having a go. It's not away yet. Oh, this could be it.
Well, he could have been punished there.
Milinkovic-Savic. Making decent progress here.
I'll pass it down the ball back.
Lee. Now Fernandes. Football friends struggling to keep the
Like
ball
we're
here.
talking like this far wide,
Finds himself with
like
space now.
where the shadow is, and he would go right the way down his last, right down to here before cutting, right there,
It's gone out of
like
play.
where's,
Throw
like
in to come.
right there before cutting in, and then sometimes it would be to
As it
pass,
goes, corner coming.
sometimes it would be to do a cheeky pass with the left back if the left back was up, or he would then cut back, and if he got back down to here, if he saw an opening, he would then
The Senators
cut in
have lost
and try and get her
possession.
in ahead. It was he made the call based on what play was like that far wide.
Now, this has to be. Oh, he's kept it out.
But they weren't playing as inside
Great
forwards.
save.
They were
Short
essentially
corner taken here.
guaranteed
Into
width,
the area
guaranteed out there,
Well, in the end,
and
it proved to be right in the keeper's zone.
yeah.
Volla. Good ball. Decent looking
Like
attack.
show you now, like if he was here now, he would be in cutting in like that, slow down, and then yeah, sometimes he'd go back, sometimes
Well, I
he'd
have to
shoot,
say, I
but you
thought
know,
that
it
was
would
a
vary.
Great stop.
Cleared behind for another corner. Ball comes in. Oh, chance here. Magnificent save. Top draw goalkeeping.
Because this was when, during an era in which
Excellent reading of the game to win the ball.
there was a
There's something on
gung-ho
here, a chance
attitude
to
with
attack.
Man United, especially towards the final 10 minutes, where the phrase, if you're a Man United fan, you've at one point have heard
That's not a bad
of
looking
Fergie
ball.
time.
And that's nicely won to see
And there
off
was a
the
reason for that, because he would he would literally just final 5 minutes. Game's not shut up. If the game's a sure one, then he wouldn't do it. But if there's a goal to be get or a lead or anything like that,
What a chance this could be. They might get another go here.
yeah, then you'd be looking at a very, very
Try. Defense standing firm.
gung-ho, everyone forwards.
Just needs the composure now. Off the upright. Puts the ball into the box. Oh, yes! An incredible strike. That's got everything you'd ever want to see from a goal.
So I'll make that quickly now for you.
And that's the final
Yes.
whistle. A positive result, at least as far as the home fans are concerned. What did you make of
Where
their performance?
we will be,
What a good performance.
yeah, it will be a very, very,
Their attacking play,
very,
defensive,
very
and had a real
attacking
cutting edge. That was a really
4-4-2.
dominant display from them today.
very not. It's going to be. It's going to be different to the England one that we did earlier today. Mainly in one or two aspects. Sort of. All right. Now, did that count, or is it actually have to be a World Tour player? No, it has to be a World Tour player, which I don't have. So all of that playing him was fucking pointless. Yeah. So if I let's clear out some of these because we are going to be needing. So if we just get to the, we want normal 4-4-2. Now in this instance, okay, right, we need you up front. I think in this instance we may be playing Claudio Pina because you got plus. Madam Wakey, where are you a minute? You got plus on when Salad got nothing. So for this exercise, we will be using 88 Madawiki. Let's have a look. 28. It's a bit low. What about 29? We will take 29. I don't think there's anyone that can give us up to 30, but we don't mind. Right, so we want Salah, Socrates, and Schlotterbeck. Okay. Now, again, we are leaving this unbalanced and balanced because it's only been really certain formations, certain times a player's been like playing a higher line. But essentially, what this would be essentially actually have I got you all there? Yeah. Right. So you're essentially, because you want these wingers to go as high up as you can. So then if I want to trigger the fullbacks, I can. But essentially, you're looking at that. Very wide, very, very limited defensively. But the bodies you've got, you've got to remember at this point, essentially as well, you would have more or less this going on when Man United were really going for it, which essentially would become a 2-4-4 because you would just be throwing all these players forward. So in this instance, we're going on a normal one, which is essentially this. We're going to go with that one, which is these are on attack, and you've got these players forward, which we're going to be doing in a moment. And I'm sorry about this pause, but I gotta go, and I'll be back on in a sec. Okay, sorry about that. Right, so Man United 4-4-2. Right,
And a warm
so
welcome on what is an ideal night for football.
this
You've got
was
to
kind of
say.
nuts.
I'm Derek
Back
Ray, your
when,
match commentator, and
especially the
alongside
Premier League,
providing all
you
the
didn't
tactical
have
and
player
technical
roll. Like,
analysis, it's Stuart
player
Robson.
rolls weren't
And with the
really a
game just
thing.
moments
Art
away
Certain
now,
said
this
himself,
really
this
ought
was
to
just
be
a
a
case of,
superb watch. It's the
this was
rule
back in an
breakers
era of this country
versus
where
the
it was
senators.
still,
Well,
right,
it doesn't matter how good your
you're
players are,
playing there,
or
go
what
play
formation they're playing in,
there.
you have to earn the
It
right to
wasn't like
play. And I'm sure that has
specifically
been
run
reiterated
here,
by
do this,
both
do
managers in
that.
the dressing room. It promises to be a really good game here.
Rodri.
You know, it
And
was,
reacting almost instinctively. Great defending. Now opening things up. Well, she exploded onto the ball, but the accuracy simply wasn't there. And the starting 11 for the rule
you know,
breakers.
they're very, very
Marquinhos
defensively
plays
sound defence.
alongside
You'd have,
Nikola
you know,
Milenkovic in central defence.
Oh, he's through on goal here, Derek.
And there we go. It is the ideal opening. And the rule breakers get us moving again. A swift response required after this setback.
yeah, I think, yeah, like now, like, you know, Scholes would do a simple pass like that, and then
Noni Madueke.
Beckham would do this, and then hold up the ball, and
Really
he'd
good,
put it
strong
through. But
tackle.
normally,
And
it
it'll
was
be a
big, 'cause
throw
Gary
in.
Neville was a natural wing back in a way,
Options in the middle. Not the best
90s
clearance.
plus, and then
And teammates around him. Beautifully weighted ball. Oh, good work to deny the opportunity. Can he deliver it with accuracy? Well, the keeper made that look relatively easy. In truth, it wasn't. Possession one. Promising position, this. Cedric Pakombu on the ball. And a throw coming up after that authoritative challenge. Well read to put an end to that attack. Jean-Pierre Papin. Gerrard. Now, who can she play it to? Well, nothing comes of it. It looked promising. Well, the referee not too happy with the challenge and blows for a free kick. A decisive clearance it was. And an opening. Well, I must say, it looked as though they were going to jump even further ahead. But that was sensational goalkeeping.
Well, had that gone in, they would be in big trouble now.
Now sending it in.
but, you know, you get the point. It was dribs and drabs and stuff, really.
Konrad Leimer. Even Gerrard has made the pass count. And a goal to
Yeah, so it's not bad, but I'm not,
2-0
it's
here, and the ball is moving again. Giovanni Di Lorenzo. Modric. Cedric Bakambu on the ball. Mornum. Soboslai. Lima on the ball. Fine build-up play.
Yeah, lovely slick passing here.
Torres. And there to intervene. Can he find the right pass? Who wants to make a challenge?
typical
Can they hit them on
90s
the
game. Far
Cross
post.
into the centre. Well, it was a brilliant break, but no goal as a result.
Well, forget the finish and just admire the way they counter-attacked there. They did it with such pace and quality.
Giovanni Di Lorenzo. And a tidy challenge. Walking a tightrope here. Well, the manager has seen enough. Not his best game today. One minute of stoppage time has been added on. Konrad Lima. A chance then for the... Well, the ball moving again here with the Senators very much in charge after the first 45. Good-looking move. And look at this! And a goal to seal the hat-trick! A
It is a very, very
masterclass in
typical.
finishing. Just can't stop him today. Konrad Lima. And in possession, Milenkovic. Frida Mornum. Modric. And the Senators have control of the ball once more. And Papa did really well. Can he put it away? Oh, that's a magnificent volley! What a thumper! And far from...
Yeah, so it plays out kind of the same. I'm not really asked. Like, now, this is going to be the one that's going to be the absolute weirdest one. And it's getting one all by itself. Can maybe do some effect. I'll just call this fight back. Alright. Because the Gat and Xiao originally, it's really weird because it's kind of lopsided. Because
You folks need anything? Tackle shop don't open until morning. But if you want to go out and try and snare some of New England's finest pescatory features, I'd be happy to open early for you. Oh, thank you. We're fine. It's a fine vessel you got there. When did you get in? What vessel? Why, what now, right?
right, yeah. Right, so the Gat and Xiao. Okay. First of all, they play deep. how this also works. This is what's really weird. One of the and then because how it would work then is essentially that the whole thing becomes really lopsided, and that's kind of by design. So essentially, you've permanently got four in defence with the back three, and then you've got the holding midfielder would drop deep, and then you'd have one both midfielders would be box to box and creating. However, one would be sole purpose was to get the ball, and the other was to push forward and be more attacking. But the right back would push that far by essentially becoming a winger, where fullback would essentially always stay put. If you wanted to do it even more weirdly, you'd have it there. But every picture I've seen has him as this is again during that period where there were no fullbacks. Well, there were no wingers. Sorry. So then it's without the ball, it's flat five, and then with the ball, it gets really, really lopsided and a lot of running from here and the wingers. But it plays really, really deep. Yeah, so essentially it goes that way. Another way of doing it eventually would be you could have just to be really, really weird if you wanted to. You could have these on one on playmaker attack, one on playmaker Roman, because that's essentially what would happen is that they would push right the way forward, and it essentially would look like that. So, but the idea for this was not about. This was about one thing, which was about suffocating the box and basically absorbing that and hitting on the counter with your right back. Normally like that, and then Italy would win a game here, a game there. Yeah, so you've got that as well. So it's a question of do we, you know, because I like doing proper free flow and attacking ones, but a lot of these things, a lot of these, especially the older ones during the 70s and 80s, were based on this 5-3-2, which would then become anything from a 3-4-3 to a 3-4-2-1. So it's yeah, but we will give it a go before I start changing everything about it. Because what would also happen as well, which I do need to change, is the one of the strikers. In this instance, it will be Bull. Would one would be like the central one. One would also kind of drop deep in a false nine. No, I want you on attack. I want Gerard on ball within. And we want. So essentially, it looks like that. You've got great movement solid movement. It is really deep as well, so there is going to be a lot of running involved. So it's a good job that every player in my team has a pace of 80 and higher. But I wouldn't. Ideally, this would be what I would use if I was trying to see a game out, or to essentially to play how essentially I'm about to set out and play, which is suffocating the box a little.
And a warm welcome on what is an ideal
just
night for
completely.
football.
But there's a way I can do
I'm
that.
Derek Ray, and joining me to provide expert analysis
Now,
is the former England attacker Sue Smith.
Which
And if this game lives up to its billing,
it's a
we're
way
in for
I've
a riveting occasion. It's fish and chips versus the Senators.
Well, I'm really looking forward to this one today. It'll be interesting to see how both teams line up. But what an atmosphere we have here. I absolutely can't wait.
It's essentially how they create. It's see
And
it
here's
like
the
they're just
starting
absorbing
11
it.
for the Senators. Jan Oblak gets the nod in goal. Cafu starts with Grimaldo in the fullback positions. Omari Sawa starts alongside Rodri in the centre of midfield. And it's two strikers.
And then over time, because this was debuted by Italy in this defensive version, the 60s, very predominant right up until
and threading it through. Good looking move.
in the 90s,
An early opening statement
where
in
they
this
then
match.
abandoned it after Italian 90. But essentially what happened, it's stifling and choking that back line, which means with me,
Stuffing up the danger. And he's made headway. And a goal! Another one! Two in quick succession. No wonder they're celebrating. Yassine Ayari. Real chance. A goal! How about that? He's put it away to make it a hat-trick.
I know he has. So
Yassine Ayari.
it's not. See, this is my point, is that people very, very quickly say, oh, the fact, when you see set up like this, then yes, it's incredibly, very, very fast. Essentially, you're doing that, which I do, which is all of a sudden everyone back up. You can see it there. Even with the players pushing forward.
Can he score?
See, this one happened. They roll out.
Cafu.
Because the right back has complete reign over that right hand side. You would essentially do that, and then essentially that. They would get that and get right down to the byline. Even with them chasing and have lost the ball, I've still, until they've got the shape back, I've still got 5.
That was required. Trying to connect. Opportunity, Gerrard. In it goes! Such a complete performance. 4 in front now. Ayari. Now opening things up. Now plays with a positional sense that is second to none. And an opening. Oh, fully stretched.
So it is a great way of kind of taking the gas off.
And a super header. It looked as though it might be going in. Well, another corner following on from the last one. Oh, disappointing clearance. Well, the keeper wasn't worried in the slightest.
As the stats show, you just wonder how many this could be, because the way that they go forward, it's great to watch. So much creativity, and the defence just can't cope with them.
Gas and Xiao actually led to the
And they're raiding
discovery of
again here.
abandoning
Attack
3 in the back and
after
actually
attack.
having
And that's
4
why
and then
goalkeeping,
eventually
he
also
got the touch.
5.
Well, we can see
Because
it here again,
you
but
didn't
it was
have
pretty
fullbacks
clear when
really,
it
you had
happened. The ball was nowhere
fullbacks that
near
were
over the line,
doing
and that's just
basically being
confirmed it.
both for a good long time.
Well, there's an example of how to press high up.
So my
In terms of added
idea
time, a
eventually
minimum of 1 minute. Opportunity here. Well, the bar can be the goalkeeper's best friend.
would be
And the whistle is sounded for...
I want to create it's
Well, the
I don't know.
Senators very much bossing the game up to now. Will there be a response in the second 45?
So yeah, that, and that's why you'd have that
Steven Gerrard.
fullback pushing right the way forward. I said bridging. There's very little. The whole point of
Strong
this
bit of
was
pressing.
never about creativity.
A real opening now. A goal! We're really being spoiled. This
And it
is
was.
attacking
I think it was
football
never
at
about
its
creativity.
finest. Ayari.
Yeah, it was about that. It was
And the ball
about
was
keeping the
Gerrard.
ball, being very, very compact while you were
And the chance is on.
very, very patiently waiting for an opening for the mobile creative striker up front to do essentially what he's done like a team.
It's not that
That's the
far away.
only purpose
Constant
of
effort.
this
I just really
style.
liked composure with the finish.
Which, yes, it did. You know, there were times it won, but there was also times where it got
Oh, big moment. Oh, a good diving
completely
save.
overrun.
Corner kick played in. Well, that header
So
was
you
never
need
going
that,
to be
like,
problematic for the goalkeeper. Well, a failure by the Senators
Yes,
to
the
keep
question
it.
now becomes, because you've got about the
30 minutes to go then. Oh, could be an opportunity here.
hey Google,
And showing good game awareness. Takes aim. Well, decent effort, but not troubling the keeper too much. Well, doesn't have to do it on her own. Well, it came to nothing in the end. Oh, good-looking pass. And that is offside. Suddenly they have possession. Ayari. Really fine piece of defending play to break it up.
Well, nice approach, wasn't it? But the final ball just wasn't there.
Chances on. Still could finish. Oh, there it is! It's one goal after another, and it speaks to the quality of that performance. Well, it's an out-and-out pasting. 6-0. Well, that's how to keep the opposition at bay. A lot of pressure applied. Can they take advantage? Oh, it might be. And that's 2 for her today. They just can't contain her. And no wonder she's off celebrating. So the match has restarted, but you do feel that is that. Well, the post getting in the way there. And this time it's in. Fabulous goal. And just look at the celebrations.
a shot, but just look how alert she is. It's fantastic reactions and desire, and she gets the reward with the goal.
Sloppy in possession from fish and chips. Annoyingly, there it breaks down. Gay. Oh, that's a super piece of defending. Ayari. So 2 minutes of stoppage time here. Can he put it away? Oh, it's an absolutely tremendous save.
Oh, talk about reactions. How good were hers then? It's such close range. That's a brilliant save.
And there it is, the full-time whistle here.
Yeah, so that's essentially it. Yeah, wasn't like, I wasn't great stuff like, but it's essentially that's how that would look. All right. Now for the one that gets me probably after Total Football, the one that's the one I get requested most, which is a Gengar Press. Now, the thing with this one is this isn't about setting up in a system. This is about utilizing basically triangles. So that 3 there, that 3 there, that 3, that 3. So essentially it becomes triangles. Most people will know the more modern variation of Gegenpress brought in by one Jürgen Klopp, which is, which it is what it is. It became a lot more aggressive and attacking because of Robertson and Trent Arnold. But in its infancy, what's funny about it, when you look at essentially what it boiled down to, was essentially the midfield. It all hinged on that midfield. Right. Now, as typical with a Gegenpress, to do this effectively, you would have to trigger presses yourself the second you lose the ball. Now, it needs a high line. Now, you can have it on when you set it too high, it goes straight to 70, which isn't too bad, but for this safety reasons, we're going to put it to 65, so it's high but not too high. We're going to keep all these the same. He is not going to be on box crasher. He is going to be on holding and ball winning. This entire midfield, that midfield 3, and I'll explain why in a minute, because I've just asked, I've just taken all the information I found, and I put AI to basically summarize it for me. And what it sums down to is when you break it down, you've got essentially the triangles everywhere. So everywhere, like if you form a triangle, you'd basically see a lot of overlapping triangles, and it's these triangles working to basically close space wherever the ball is. That's why normally you'd have sweeper keeper as well. Right, but what it hinges down to when you break it down as well is these 3, because all they are doing is ball hunting across the board. So in this instance, Sauer would be ball winning by dropping deep to help Tara and Gomez. Salah would then be pushing forward to help Ekitike and Bull, Gerrard to save with Salah and Cafu and Cordoba. And then you've got Rodri, who would drop deep to help Cordoba and Tar, and Jan Oblak then pushing up slightly to help Tar and Cordoba. So it's all about triangles and forcing movements. With a really, really high line. There was never that short on passing. It was essentially about winning the ball back quickly and then having a shot off within 10 seconds of winning the ball back. That was the whole point of it. So this is our Gegenpress. How this would potentially go. But this is, in a way, how I play is more or less, especially with that counter-attacking style that I like, is primarily, it's built for Gegenpress, because it is about closing down and running and moving quickly once you've got it. Klopp said once, it's, rock star football. Which we're going to show now with this, and if I've ended up creating this to work well, I am actually going to cry.
Welcome everyone on a perfect
what
night
we're going
for
to do,
football.
we've not got the ball, so right, straight away,
My
okay,
name is
up,
Derek
press
Ray,
up,
and my
press left.
partner on this occasion is Stuart Robson. And without doubt,
And
a match with
we
the
have pressed.
potential to bring genuine excitement. It's Locomotive versus the Senators.
Well, as always, I'm looking forward to this because both teams have strong aspects to their game. Both managers like to play attacking football, and we've got some good matchups all over the pitch.
And we got to it fairly
Essentially
easily.
about doing this. Bang. Bang.
Opportunity again. And it goes.
Yeah, along the way, Klopp, but this is about playing it in its basic form. Like we're going to do it again. And this is what it's about. Right there. Press high.
Well, a top-notch
I
piece of
didn't really
defensive
get a shot
judgment.
off of that instance.
Yeah,
But,
that was well read.
It's about forcing people down into that line where you can essentially use a touchline as a second player. And then it's like this. Triangles, play, boom, boom, boom.
Genuine chance. Oh, it's another one. They couldn't have visualised a better start than this.
It's essentially that. It's about, you risk loads doing it, and I'm not going to lie, you do.
Possession one.
But this is about closing down, doing that, and closing down with Rodri,
Oh, chance. That is a perfect
and
tackle.
get their shots off. Like some people would say, "Oh, put a box pressure on him," which, if I was played a certain way, or I
Play on to
probably
the
might.
referee. Took a really smart piece
At
of
this point,
defending.
Cordoba,
to stop them.
Gomez,
No
and
chance
now
of getting
off
through
of
on that
Salah.
occasion, was there?
Dangerous ball.
That was bad
Full marks
layoff.
for trying, but very deftly cut out.
But it is essentially you.
Can she find the right pass? Went in strongly to win the ball. And what an opportunity this is for her. Oh, she scored again! A
It's
great
essentially
goal
that. It is about closing down, running,
Simply
and then
don't
shooting,
have to
and then
stop her.
coming back again.
Is this going to be a thrashing? 3-0 now. Good win.
We want to press. All the plays in. Now we're really doing that aggressively.
We see good win. Well caught. cleanly.
Keeper gets it,
Despite
as
all
it
the
goes,
bodies around
flick
him.
over to Rodri. He triggers some runs. Tractor plays with us.
And fed forward.
They're too busy marking one.
And a goal
And that's,
it
well,
is.
offside, I should have shot
But
really. But you
offside
see the
is
point
verdict.
of
Well, it's a good finish, but he was just
essentially
offside.
pressing
Great decision by the
effectively.
assistant.
It's like, now I've lost the ball, back here to go.
Super pass. Oh, it strikes the bar. But the decision is
This
offside
Gengen
here.
pressing, like, it is about just press, like, you're ball chasing.
Now with Morgan.
So it plays with style, especially in that midfield,
Plenty of
because that is
support
what they're
here.
all doing.
That's a good pass. Oh, they were in a decent
Rodri
position
gets
too.
it there. Like, you go 1, triangle, 2.
Oh, in with a chance.
Nice play with TK.
Another goal. The lead grows to 4 now. A rampant display. Grasgeiro. Oh, what a top-notch pass. And it opens up for Gerrard. A goal!
Yeah,
They're
it-
really being spoiled.
it's
This is
really,
attacking
really, it's like,
football
it's
at
really
its
simple.
finest.
The question is becoming more and more, and I've said this a lot, is about testing.
Missy Goodwin.
Well, your tactics now. I could do this to my cows come home. Different tactics and stuff, but it's
And
about
Mancini
setting
on the
up
ball.
how you like to play. Now, I'll show you with the side I'm
Talk
using
about coming
in a
away
minute,
with the ball.
once I've done this.
Decisive pass, and the chance is on. And a goal this time. Applying the finishing touch. Just what the doctor ordered.
Yeah. You can see it there with my place. We've got Gerrard is knackered, so I know he doesn't play that way. But we'll bring on Socrates to do it.
So they get the second half going here. Nicely cut out.
Yeah, so it's got one player back, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's for the Gengen press. Within 10 seconds to get the ball back, you want to be pulling off a shot.
Trying to pick
Or
out a
goal.
teammate.
Well, they say goal, but
Oh, really good header.
you want to be
But the
pulling off
goalkeeper
something
there to
every
cover
10
up.
seconds to win the ball back.
This has been
That's
a
how
really good
fast
performance, as you can see. They've
they
created numerous
wanted
chances, they're
Gengen
winning the
pressing
game
to be.
comfortably, and they
Check it
could
out,
go
just
on
went
to
back.
score more.
1,
This could get really
2,
embarrassing.
3, 4,
Yes, the chances just keep
5,
on coming. No
6,
stopping them, apparently.
7,
And
8,
quick thinking
9, and I've
defensively.
lost. Better back. 1.
Well, the flag has
Or
gone
not.
up here. Offside it is.
Okay, so we do it now. 1.
Time for a change
2.
then.
No, possible. Start the clock again. And it's like that. You're chasing. You then start a different clock. They want you to win the ball back within
Grasgeiro.
6 seconds, 6 to 8 seconds, or at least getting the ball.
Mancini. Can they set up a chance? And with that,
So
the
we've got it
attack
back here
fizzles
now.
out.
So 1, 2,
Well, they might be able
3,
to launch a
4,
counter-attack.
5, 6, 7,
Intelligent threaded pass here.
8.
A goal! How about
So
that?
it's doable.
He's
10,
run
like,
away
you've got to be
to
fucking
make it a
rapid.
hat-trick.
I'm not gonna lie, you got to be fucking rapid. But that's the point. Like, and that was my mindset as well, I think, growing up. Because when you, like, my brother was a big, like, when you play something that has a mixture of the Gattiao meets total football that was my brother, you've got to learn to play like this when you get the ball, which is very, 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 very quick. And eventually you do learn to kind of make the most of it.
Interesting pass. And defending as a unit.
They won the ball at just the right time there.
Yeah, so it's
That's a high-quality pass. Superb stop. Oh, he's lost possession.
off.
Nicely saved. Here it is now, a substitution. Playing it in. Oh, burying them beneath an avalanche of goals. No let up here.
Oof. Yeah, this
Now with Morgan.
proper, like, you
And
know,
back with Martinez.
up and left. Let's get, yeah, you want to press. Get the ball back. And oh, look, if I press it, I've got the ball back. So you go straight for the throw in.
Room to roam on the wing for Senators. Annoyingly, there it breaks down.
Ideal, but
10 minutes
that.
to go. Tremendous vision from Socrates. And this time it's in! Fabulous goal! And just look at the celebrations.
And it's very, very quick. It's very, very free
Alex
flowing.
Partridge. Missy Goodwin. Martinez. That's a good-looking pass. This looks interesting. And the keeper flings himself at the ball.
So you go Schlotterbeck, Rodri, Gomez, Salah.
Now sending it in. Now perhaps they can counter from here. And he's made headway.
Me and my very, very best.
Great moment. And a goal! There he is! And the double. They just can't subdue
It's
him.
just really, really, like I've always been more of a counter-attacking player, really, because I had to be. Like, yeah, I grew up playing someone who did possession-based football really, really
Well, it was a
fucking
very
well.
assured.
Yeah, so this is kind of, yeah, that essentially is how Gengar Press works. But how this plays into mine now is, this is how I'm setting up. Which is, it's a 4-2-1-3. I've got two inside forwards with Ekatike, which explains itself, which you just saw me push forward them, it's fine. I've got Socrates as a common playmaker, he roams. Rodri on box crusher, he breaks deep and arrives late, which it's a passing option as I'm breaking into the final third. And Gerrard kind of hovers where he is to kind of protect a back four that stays put. Yeah, I have them on balanced because when you put your fullbacks on defend, they tuck in a bit. And I would rather not have them tucking in. I just realised I've got nothing on Cafu. Have we got anyone else that doesn't have any? Right, you do. What do we put Joe Gomez on? Yeah, so this is kind of how mine is setting up at the minute. And yeah, everyone on plus plus. Which is what we like. I don't think I have any teams of the weeks left to try and see if I can pack anyone good. Let's have a look. I don't think I have. Short answer, nope. But we get rewards tomorrow, so it's fine. Alright, let's have a look. Oh no, I want to go to the Evo. Okay, we've got chilling right back. This is the one I'm really, really tempted to try and find something good to work with. Because that one does look amazing. If you get a good one. Which right now my option is Yao Cancelo, who does turn beastly but doesn't fit in, and Riyad Mahrez, who becomes a beast and doesn't fit in. So that's one. Too far. And then we got a left back one, but he becomes 83. So if I did that one, I would need a better left back. Fresh legs. We can put you on a centre. Must not be a centre back. So if I put you on Pizzy, you would end up having not Pizzy, which I don't need. Have I got no one good for you yet? No. Winter Wall. I can put you on Yuri and Timber and you become quite beastie. Before we go, let's have a look. It is Time Warp, so let's see if anybody is so desperate already that they are selling theirs cheaply, because there are a few fucking not great ones. Oh, we do. Jose Fonte. Alright, now just for shits and giggles, watch this go. There's none there. Okay, right. What is the cheapest Premier League one? Okay, right. We'll go for no offer, so we'll go to 20. Right, we're going to leave it there for today, and I'll be back on in a bit later, and I'm